Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming on and sitting down because today we're going to be talking about time travel. I mean, who hasn't been interested in the possibility of time travel at some point or another in your life, right? Whether it's to explore ancient history or to witness future technological advancements, you can understand why it's on people's minds quite often, right? Being able to kill Hitler while he's a baby, which out of context would be probably very horrifying for the people around him, but you could be like, I just did the world a huge, great deal of service. You think if Hitler died, there'd be a different Hitler? If you were a time traveler, yeah, was it like butterfly effect? What would be fucked up about that is that it's like the same thing still happens, but now people are still naming their kids Adolf and Hitler.
Yeah, exactly. So now
you're the only person walking around, and it's like, this is my little boy Adolf, and you're like,
well, for you it's weird. Everybody else is like,
well, everyone's like, yeah. Why are you giving such a fucking weird thing? His name's Adolf. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, Believe it or not, there are tons of everyday people that claim not only to witness real-life time travelers, but to be one themselves. We're about to get into the weird and slightly deranged world of conspiracy, filled with all sorts of bizarre theories and delusions. I mean, what if I told you that we've already invented time travel? Well, that's what many people have theorized for years. People have long since hyper-analyzed old media for clues that time travel exists. For example, in the 1928 Charlie Chaplin film, The Circus, people started to freak out after noticing that one background character appeared to be holding a phone up to her ear and speaking. Time travel? Possibly. Instead of considering a more plausible explanation, people became convinced that this is proof of time travel, since cell phones had not been invented yet. Well, to be fair, if you were a time traveler and you wanted to give a hint, you would do something to where it's like, this is going to be a big movie. And then people are going to be able to look back on it. You wouldn't just like hide it. Why would you hide it? I'm going to flaunt it around. I want people to be extremely scared. If I'm not spreading paranoia as a time traveler, did I even travel time?
No.
No. God, no. The small YouTuber who pushed this theory in 2010 went viral and created a whole swarm of people believing in this theory. Online, other people were infuriated that this gained traction. Their counter theories would range from being an old-fashioned hearing aid to the woman simply being insane and talking into her wallet. Yeah, now... yeah. It's like, oh, that's just a geriatric woman. This is the 20s. Theories like this are dime a dozen. And in some cases, it's just a woman holding a cigarette case up to her ear. And in others, it's an old painting where a prayer book is confused for a modern smartphone. We're finding that smartphones are popping up a lot. Is this similar to like ancient Sumerian cave paintings or like sculptures or etchings that look like alien, like spaceships, you know? People are like, what is this man? He's sitting inside. What the hell is that thing? It looks like a spaceship.
It's people just being like, oh, they pattern recognition. I know what that is. That's a smartphone.
That right there is an LG chocolate. I will say, can I give a hunter's tip?
Hunter's tip?
Hunter's tip. Those Sumerian alien etchings, shit's real. I'm one of those people where I'm like, motherfucker was an alien. If I was a fucking guy back in the day in Egypt, Samaria, wherever the fuck that is, and or a Mayan, and I was like, and I saw this fucking big alien come down, and he was like sitting. I would etch the shit out of that.
That's true. I bet you there's some. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go with the trolling, but I was gonna say if I was a Sumerian, I would troll people.
Oh, you would? So you're saying that you'd be like, I don't think they had that sense of humor. I don't think they were like, he's funny, and they're like, he's a spaceship man, because they have no concept of what a spaceship even is, right? Unless they saw it
and actually believe it.
If I was a Mayan guy and I was like just chilling down there,
in the Mayans, yeah.
You say
down in the Mayan cave?
Oh, they said in New Orleans. I was like, what? If I was sitting there and I was chilling outside my temple and this thing flew down from the sky, well, first off, I'd be like, that's God. What's up, God? And then the aliens. Why would an alien? The aliens to me would be the trolls. Just stack the things like this. Fly off. I'm getting the hell out of here. How would they even talk to him?
Pointing.
Or really they're saying like, pick up the fucking thing and put it here. Other perceived proof of time travel in the past has been nothing more than a common way to scam people. One popular scam email goes as follows, and I quote, this is an email. Imagine viewer that you are at your computer and you just received this email. I'm a time traveler, stuck here in 2003. Upon arriving here, my dimensional warp generator stopped working. I trusted a company here by the name of LLC Lasers to repair my generation 352-435-0A watch unit, and They fled on me. I'm gonna need a new DWG unit, preferably the rechargeable AMD wristwatch model with the GRC79 induction motor. 4 i80 200 warp stabilizers, 512 gigabytes of SRAM, and the menu-driven GUI with front panel XID display.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So I'm kind of a time traveler. It then goes on to detail a payment of platinum gold, as well as desperately urging the victim to make sure no spying eyes witness the drop-off. Some claim this email is just a joke, while others insist that going to the website listed in the email led them to getting computer virus. No time traveler, first off, is gonna be like, can you give me some money? Why, dude?
They need to fix their warp drive stabilizer.
Or if you did a thing where you put it in a bank and then, like, it's the Futurama episode where he puts it in the bank and then it like accrues a bunch of interest over time and then he's rich.
He could literally go to a sports betting thing and just be like, I know who wins this fight. All on Tyson or whatever, you know, like.
Yeah. Some people went out of their way to discover who created the email and website, which was a man named Bob White. After reaching out to him directly, people have reported that he acts so inexplicably crazy that he must truly believe he is a time traveler.
Oh, he believes he's a time
Oh yeah,
traveler.
I think that he's like, I need this. This is how I get back home. I wonder if you ask him like, what is home like? Do you think he has a full backstory?
Oh yeah.
Or do you think I don't remember?
No, he's got a whole. He remembers it.
That's what I need to do. I need to get a wife that I just have full deniability over. Or I could sit there and I need to be like, my wife's waiting for me. She's beautiful. Can I see a picture? I don't have a picture of her. She's been, trust me, hot. I imagine too. I wonder if anyone ever gave him everything that he asked for, and they were like, "Are you going?" He's like, "Oh."
He would just make excuses though. He'd just be like, "Well, that."
My back hurts. I can't travel while I can't time travel while my back hurts. Okay, it's obvious. What did Bob ever say? What year he was from? Editor. This video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Fume is the flavored air device that's designed to help people quit vaping and smoking by breaking the hand-to-mouth pattern. Breaking bad habits can be hard. And when cravings crop up, don't handle it alone. Let Fume help. Fume is not a vape, it's not e-cig, it's just flavored air, which means you can use Fume anywhere. Use Fume as your natural replacement while you're working on improving your habits. With Fume, there's no vapor, no nicotine, and never any toxic chemicals. And on top of that, Fume is an award-winning device with great flavors. Feel the rush of crisp mint or tangy raspberry as you keep your cravings at bay. I keep my Fume device here at my desk so it's close by in case I'm feeling anxious or a bad habit wants to distract me from my work. It takes up no space at all and I love it. If you're ready to break a bad habit, now's a great time to try Fume. Right now, when you try a journey pack, you'll get a free Fume topper just for using my code PAPAMEAT. The Fume topper adds a soft, replaceable, chewable mouthpiece, providing something safe to chew on when you're craving it. Grab this offer while it's available. So head to tryfume.com/PAPAMEAT. That's tryfum.com and use code PAPAMEAT to get your free Fume topper with your journey pack. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring this video. Back to the video. Though many of the conspiracies about time travelers sound outlandish, many people have either encountered them in real life or even claim to be one themselves. In Casper, Wyoming, at 10:30 p.m., police were called to the home of Brian Johnson over the claims of disturbing the peace and public intoxication. And when the officers arrived, they found Bryant rambling and mumbling nonsense. And when they asked him to repeat what he said, he revealed that he was a time traveler on a mission to save Earth. He said that an alien invasion was heading towards the planet, set to arrive in 2048. He began yelling at officers, demanding to speak with the town's president so he could warn everyone else. And when officers began to put him in the car, he explained that aliens had filled his body with alcohol and placed him on a large pad. He said that the pad was supposed to take him to 2018, but he landed in 2017 instead. Officers claimed that Bryant was slurring his speech and had watery red eyes. After blowing a .136 blood alcohol level, he was arrested and charged with public intoxication.
That's how they silence you.
I want to see exactly. There's two things here. One, that's a great way to try to get out of a public intoxication charge. Aliens sent me. I got sent back because of the deal, and I was supposed to go 2018, but I got there 2017. So guys, okay, so you have to realize that that's why these aliens liquored me up.
I'd tell him, hold on, my car's a time traveling machine, and then I'd drive off.
Yeah, exactly. Here, I'll show you how my car's a time traveling machine. Look at that. 24. I just drive off, immediately crash into a pole. Down in Florida, police were once again called to a public disturbance call that had been going on in the early morning. The caller reported seeing two men fighting in the parking lot, so when officers arrived, they expected to find the suspects. However, they found nothing. It wasn't long before they found a man with a gash on his forehead and asked him what happened. According to him, an unknown white man with dreads showed up and said he was from the future. A white boy with dreads, at any case, is frightening. No white man should have dreads. I just want to say that. I'm going to put that out there. If you see a man with white dreads, you run away from that man. The mysterious man then supposedly began to throw rocks at the guy, and a fight broke out. Before the officer arrived, the time traveler allegedly escaped by returning to the future. After further investigation, officers discovered the whole story was faked, and the man did not want to admit to getting into the fight. Officers then had the man and his girlfriend driven home by a friend. I love the idea of the excuse being time travel. You could do anything. Do you think that the idea of like your brain going to a spot where it's like I have to give them something so outlandish that they won't look into it? Is that the idea?
Oh, maybe.
If you do something too plausible, be like, well, I was going to my friend's house. Well, where's your friend live? Oh shit. But if you tell them something like, yeah, I'm from the future. I mean, how are you supposed to, you can't pry. How would you know? How would you pry?
They call you crazy.
Even though time travelers come from the future, they are as addicted to TikTok as we are. Since numerous time travelers have made their own TikTok accounts and post their prophecies non-stop. An account called the Time Traveler 2582 has made numerous outlandish claims. In 2023, they reported that a boat would go missing in Bermuda and reappeared 6 months later, with all people on board claiming that they'd only been gone a day. They also claimed that in December of 2025, a meteor containing antimatter would hit the Earth and people would begin selling the material for millions of dollars. On August 27, 2024, they claimed a portal to an alternate universe would be found in a cave and aliens would crawl out, causing blackouts worldwide. I remember that one happened. He also drew the attention of gamers, claiming that GTA 6 would release on PC and PS5 on October 25th, 2025. The Traveler's most recent video was posted in November of last year and made even more outlandish claims. But people completely ignored them and kept asking about his GTA 6 prediction. Which I will say, it feels like the time travelers and prophets. They give you a day, and I feel like when it comes around, they're like, oh, I misread my calculation. I forgot it's actually this date.
Well, the biggest one could just be like, I must have changed the past, and the future's now changed.
See, that's the power that the time travelers have over the religious doomsday prophets. It's that, yeah, the guy being like, well, me coming here must have stopped it. I'm a hero. Instagram also has its fair share of time travelers, and at the beginning of 2025, one emerged to warn us of what would come in the year ahead. In one case, Elvis Thompson posted warning people about 5 major world events he witnessed occur in the future. He claimed that on April 6, tornadoes would nearly level the state of Oklahoma, and a month later, the US would enter into a civil war with Texas, seceding from the Union. And on September 1st, an alien named Champion would arrive and teleport 12,000 humans to his planet for protection. 2 weeks later, a storm would hit the East Coast, leaving it in ruins. Lastly, a massive sea creature called Serene Crown that was 6 times the size of a blue whale would be discovered in the Pacific Ocean. None of these predictions at all happened, and now he just posts about current events and life in Jamaica, which I do like. He's just like, I actually got this sweet bike, Jamaica rules. Also, 6 times the size of a blue whale is big, but it's like Gigantor, Godzilla-sized monster. Instead, it's just a big thing named Crown or whatever. Serene Crown. It's an interesting way to try to get clicks and engagement, all for your lifestyle channel that inevitably is just about Jamaica, which is kind of a sick pivot. And you never bring it up again?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have to trickle in some time travel shit. I mean, if I followed along, I at least want something where it's just like, oh, I remember in the future. If anything, you know what I would do if I was a time travel content channel? I would be like, oh man, in the future, there's these chocolate bars. I would tell people about food or something that hasn't been made yet, and people would be like, you should try making it. I'm not a chef.
Yeah, you could have, the Dubai chocolate craze, you could have predicted that.
What is up with the Dubai chocolate? It looks like shit. It looks like baby shit.
Well, people think it's a conspiracy to cover up the Dubai chocolate thing. Like Saudi princes would invite Instagram models over and like shit on them, and they called it Dubai chocolate. So then when that started spreading around the internet, the Saudi prince are like, well, we got to cover this up. So they made a chocolate called Dubai chocolate and paid influencers to try it. So now that overshadows the Dubai chocolate prostitution thing, kind of like the Beyonce bodyguard thing. There's all conspiracies. Like Beyonce made a song called Bodyguard to cover up her story that she slept with a bodyguard. There's a lot more examples I can't think of, but
it's fucked up. I believe all of it. I believe every conspiracy theory I'm told. Leave your favorite down below. Time travels like this can be found all around the world. And in 2006, a man wearing a Soviet uniform and carrying a Soviet ID emerged, claiming to have traveled through time. Sergei Ponomarenko was found wandering the streets in Kiev, Ukraine, looking lost and asking for streets that no longer existed. It's kind of funny. Bowler? Bowler? So I was like, what? See, that's the best thing too, is being like, oh yeah, back in the day there used to be this. Who the fuck's gonna be like, let me go look at a map from back in the day. When confronted, he said he was from 1932 and had traveled to 2050 before coming back to the present. His original Soviet uniform and ID confused the police, but his story became more believable when they took his 1950s camera and developed the film. On his camera were random pictures seemingly from the 50s. One showed a picture of his fiance, and another showed a supposed UFO responsible for taking him to the future. Not believing his story, officials combed through records and found the woman in the photo, and she confirmed that her husband had gone missing decades prior. The story of the Ukrainian time traveler seemed legit. That was until YouTuber Joe Scott debunked the entire story. He found out that all the photos on the man's camera were actually from an old Ukrainian television show called Aliens, which featured crazy stories about UFOs and supernatural phenomena. The show even said that the stories were based on witnesses' testimony and that the viewers should do their own research since nothing they showed was conclusive evidence. What a bummer, man. I was kind of getting hyped there for a second.
I was going to say, this sounds like an actual time traveler.
I will say, do you think that the person that does the time travel like this, do you think that's to get fame?
Yeah.
This is long before the age of social experiments. This is, to me, I think this is him trying to get a little guap.
You think he was trying to get laid with that girl who lost her husband?
Maybe. I think he was trying to get some pussy anywhere he could. Got that time traveler dick, you know what I mean? In 2013, an Iranian scientist claimed to have built his own time machine, but the Iranian government was quick to cover the story before the rest of the world could read about it. Ali Razeki called his machine the Arayak time traveling machine. It couldn't physically move people through time, but instead let the user view 5 to 8 years into the future with 98% accuracy. 2% a little fickle. He claimed he had been working on the device since 2003, that it could fit inside any laptop case, and that it would satisfy all of humanity's needs. However, before Ali could share his work with the world, the Iranian government covered up the story, claiming that Ali's device, quote, has not been registered in the Iran State Organization for Registration of Deeds and Properties. No one has heard anything of this device since. Nick, do you think it's real, yes or no?
I think it's real. Why would they fucking scrub it if it wasn't real?
This seems like something that would happen in China, though. A Chinese boy would be like, I made a time travel machine. And they like bag him over his head and throw him into a fucking, we have to profit on this ourselves, or we can't let the world know. In recent news, someone traveled to Yosemite National Park and claimed to have captured pictures of a time portal used by time travelers. After taking a photo of the walking path, someone noticed they captured a floating rainbow orb with light rings emanating from the center. The person who took the photo said the energy in the area felt overwhelmingly intense. While the photographer suspected it might be like a natural light phenomena, others who saw the image insisted that it was some kind of portal. I think I took it as just like a glare. No! Portal, my friend, portal. Other people who saw the past reported experiencing something similar at Glacier National Park, but were conveniently unable to capture it on camera. Although some thought it was caused by the time traveler, one comment pointed out it was most likely a rare occurrence called an earthquake light. These lights usually appear near areas of seismic activity and are often multicolored. There's no definite explanation for the cause, but one theory suggests that they result from electrical charges released into the air by the shifting tectonic plates. Here's our, this is where we found that information. I don't know, all right? Who fucking knows? Earthquake light. Did you know that was a thing? I had no idea that was a fucking thing. Earthquake light. The world is moving, and all of a sudden it's just like, light.
I want to believe portals and magic.
I want to believe everything. I'm tired of not believing in anything, dude. I want to fucking believe in everything.
If I was there, I'd try to jump through it.
Give me a yeah, I would. That's a good idea. If you're talking about the earthquake just makes light, how do we know that the earthquake isn't just making a fucking portal? What if you jump?
Hey, what if the portal's making the earthquake? The time travel.
Stop. We have got to be careful with this information. Every time there's an earthquake, it's just a fucking time traveler's portal. That'd be an interesting little story, huh? Just sitting there every time someone comes back, a fucking city gets decimated.
Oh yeah, that'd be really good. A huge national disaster.
Then you have a thing too where it's like the moral or ethical dilemma of being like, we have to go back and tell them, but by doing so, innocent lives will be lost. TM, trademark. That's car, copyright. Copyright, Nick, trademark it.
It's like the trolley problem. Do I go back in time to save millions and kill thousands? Or do I let millions die?
I'm going to choose a scenario where I save everyone. and no one dies. That's not an option. It is in my reality. There are all sorts of wild time traveler stories that have captivated people and left them unsure of what to believe. Look no further than the story of Missouri time traveler. Some consider his story to be an urban legend, while others are left unsure. Coast to Coast AM was a late night radio show hosted by Art Bell that revolved around conspiracies as well as paranormal activity. And in 1995, they did an interview with a strange character dubbed Michael Madman Marcum, a man who claimed to have successfully invented a time machine. During the interview, 21-year-old Michael explained how he had built what seemed to be a time-traveling device from modified Jacob's ladder. At one point, he saw a soft light appear over the device. He tested it by throwing a screw into it, only to have it disappear and reappear on a table nearby, potentially sending it briefly through time. After 3 attempts, the device caught fire and was destroyed. This caused him to put it together and plan to create a much larger and more powerful version, something that requires much more voltage. Instead of spending several thousands of dollars for his own power transformers, he formulated a heist to steal them. He got a couple buddies into a pickup truck and went to a power company in broad daylight to steal 6 industrial power transformers, okay? I can't even imagine how much that is. Also, how fucking dangerous is that? All right, boys, we gonna steal them. We going back in time. Let me just say this. Would you want to go back in time or in the future?
Probably the future to see how it all ends.
How fucking bleak. My God.
I mean, maybe go back in time and see, like, cavemen. take pictures of them. Like animals.
I love this idea of, like, make, like, some cave noise sounds.
Oh, 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 oh.
If I was a caveman, to be fair, that would scare the shit out of me too. Ooh! What was I walking in on there?
Making love to his caveman wife.
I knew it was gonna be. You're taking a photo of 2 cavemen fucking.
Yeah, back shots. Oh, oh, oh
my God. After creating a larger version of this machine, his initial test resulted in him overloading the power grid and causing a power outage throughout the entire town. This isn't what got him caught. According to Michael, at some point, his friend was shooting a BB gun at their neighbor's window, which led him getting in trouble and allegedly ratting Michael out to police for a lighter sentence. All because the guy was like, stop it. No. This led to the police getting a search warrant to inspect his home, and Michael woke up to 8 police officers surrounding him, and he ended up spending some time in jail. One of the arresting officers even joined the radio interview between the two to get into detail about that night. There were power transformers placed all throughout his house, with one hooked up directly to an electric fuse box. Further investigations of the home revealed all sorts of dismantled electronics, as well as containers and coffee cans filled with oil. From here, he was arrested and put on 5 years of probation. After the arrest, the police chief publicly claimed that, quote, he's not nuts, and that he was clearly intelligent, but just lacked common sense. After the whole ordeal, he decided to move away from his home, feeling that the neighborhood wanted his head on a pike for supposedly damaging many of their electronic devices during his experiments. He then set out to redo the experiment legally, this time saving up for gear he needed to make a much more complex version. During a second interview in 1996, he detailed his new and improved building plan, funding in part by donors who were fascinated by his story. Then, after that interview, he disappeared completely. It was not until 2015, almost 20 years later, where he was finally tracked down and interviewed for the 3rd time by Art Bell. This is where Michael's story starts to become very, very suspicious. He claims he was sending cats through the device and seeing them disappear for 1 to 2 minutes at a time before reappearing. And after 200 tests, only 1 time did an object go missing. Luckily, it was just a fruit. He admits that in 1998, he cranked everything to the max and climbed through it himself, which felt like being hit with a flashbang. He claims to have woken up 800 miles away in an Ohio field and 2 years into the future with total amnesia. He got his bearings over time, but was forced to stay at a homeless shelter and work temporary jobs until he could pay to travel back home. Conveniently, when he returned, everything from his warehouse was gone, including all of his documentations for his time machine. Michael claims he will once again rebuild and experiment with his time machine. Though there are not many updates on his story, to most, he is simply a Missouri urban legend. Sounds like an extremely intelligent man who is just like I don't know, maybe not. I hate to say the word going insane, but it does it not seem like that super intelligent guy we talked about, that like he was like doing experiments in his garage with like mercury and he like blew himself up or something?
Or the radioactive guy?
Oh, the radioactive thing.
Yeah,
he like wanted to get like a fucking radioactive bar for his experiments. It's like that kind of thing.
I think he's a smart guy, but he's like very fixated on time travel, so he seems crazy because it's like...
What is it with the fixation thing? That's the same thing with the guy who did Temple OS to me. It's like a brilliant coder, but then they get fixated with a thing, and like you could tell like it's like unchecked mental...
Well, the Temple OS guy had schizophrenia, so he actually believed, like he was hearing voices, and the voices, which he thinks is God, told them like, build this machine and you could talk to me directly.
Which it doesn't sound like that's what's happening here.
No.
But it seems like, not to say that they're similar, but it's just the idea of like hyper intelligent person is obviously doing something, which I don't know if he's lying about. I mean, obviously it seems like the tester lies or they're fabricated in some way, but but it's just this idea of like hyper intelligence mixed with like some kind of mental delusion in some way. Time travel, like most things, sounds simply too good to be true. As much as we want to believe, it's hard not to be on guard when you hear stories like this, right? It's the same as prophetic doomsdayers and, you know, like almost like cult-like stuff, or it has that kind of smell or stink to it. There's always a chance that time travel will become a thing at some point, although likely in a far less interesting way than it's portrayed in social media. Regardless, one thing is probably true. It won't be discovered by some random 21-year-old in Missouri who breaks apart CD players and steals industrial batteries. Or it might. Actually, that would probably, I take that back. It might exactly be that person. Also, the person whoever discovers it too, that's another thing. People who are all on board with these conspiracy things and they're so desperately trying to believe and they're calling them these shows, that's not the person who's gonna make it. The person who's gonna make it is gonna be like a Steve Jobs. Oh man, we're gonna make a shit ton of money off this, and they're gonna immediately get into that, or it's gonna be used for like fucking military or some kind of thing. It's gonna be something like that.
Stephen Hawking, he did a thing where he hosted a party. He didn't tell anybody, but he hosted a time traveling party. Nobody showed up, and then he put out a piece of paper saying like, I hosted a time travel party. No one showed up, to be like, if time travelers are real and you see this newspaper that came out like 3 weeks before the party, then they'll show up. So that proves no time travelers exist.
I know some people, the fascination with time travel seems real too, because time is like, is like relative, or it's like a space.
Oh, time is space.
Time is space. So it's like technically if you got into that space, you could go back in time theoretically. Watch Interstellar. It'll all make sense.
We're also spinning, like hypothetically, if you did have a time machine.
Oh, Nick's tip.
You'd have to also calculate the position in which the Earth was. You have to calculate the position in which the Earth and the Sun was in the universe where you're going to time travel, because we're spinning. Our Earth is not only spinning around the Sun, but the Sun is spinning in our galaxy, and our galaxy is moving. It's the so maybe we have time traveled.